My pleasure now to introduce our first keynote speaker, Miss Christina Rasmussen. And everybody got you close? Justin, you want to come and help her up? Christina Rasmussen, I had the pleasure of meeting her recently in Portland, Oregon. And Christina is changing the way that people live after loss. Her personal story and her approach is inspiring, and she's bringing her gift to the world with her book called Second First, and you're in for a treat. So please enjoy Christina Rasmussen. She's looking fabulous. Thank you, Holly. There you go. It's all you.
56 million people will die this year. I want to hold that number for you and for me. 1,500 people will die of cancer today. Today. 1.3 million people die of a car accident a year. 17.5 million people die of cardiovascular disease a year. 2,500 divorces take place every single day. One every 30 seconds. We are all going to be part of that statistic. Me, you, everyone. My tragedy took place in 2006 when my 35-year-old husband, who I adored more than my own life, died of colon cancer. And he was this very handsome, tall, blonde, Scandinavian, blue-eyed guy, 6'4", that biked to work and back every single day. We had 2 daughters, and when he died, they were 4 and 6 years old. And when I experienced my tragedy, I wished it was my life that was gone and not his. I went to the bathroom and threw up because tears are not going to do it for me. Your whole body is experiencing something that nobody told you about. And I want you to also know that I used to be a grief therapist prior to the loss of my husband. The theory of grief and the experience of grief, 2 very different things. Me telling you that 56 million people will die this year, and you experiencing that, 2 very different things. And when he died, I died. When he died, my world, as I knew it, was completely gone. I was on planet Mars, and everyone was still here on Earth. And every time I visited Earth, it was as if nothing happened. Life went on for everyone else but me. Why did I need a tragedy to wake up? Why did I have to experience such a tragic loss for my life to get better? My life didn't get better in the beginning. I worked 9 to 5 at a corporate office, a job that I hated. I mean, I hated that job. A 25-year-old girl bossed me around every single day. I would get on this elevator. I hope she never watches this. And if she does, what is it? Revenge is a plate served cold. Here it is. I would get on this elevator, 10 floors up, I would cry, and I would wipe my tears and literally walk into the office space and into my cube and have that horrible day. And then go back home and cry all the way in the car, picking up my 2 kids from daycare, and then go home and be exhausted and sleep. And wake up the next day and go over this experience again and again and again. Until one day, about 1.5 years later, Christmas was coming, and I was going to spend Christmas alone with my 2 little daughters. My parents wanted to come and visit, And I said, nope. I want to know the truth about my life. I want to do this alone. This is my real family, me and my 2 girls. And I lived in Boston at the time, and what I'm about to show you and tell you, how change comes into your life is very important, because change and a new life didn't come in because tragedy happened there. It came in because I decided that it would happen. My mailman would not deliver my mail. Apparently, I didn't shovel very good. So he would drive by my house every day, and I could see his head would actually look at my house and just keep on driving. And I would see this every single day. Oh, we're gonna just stop for a second, but no, we're gonna keep on driving. And one day I got up and said, I'm gonna shovel. We can do this. I need my Christmas cards. I need my mail. So we shoveled 2 hours, perfect. I counted the steps. Can his little car fit in this beautiful space? I think it can. Proudly go back home, sit, watch, look outside and see what he's gonna do. He's driving with his little car and driving away. In that moment in time, I had 2 options. Option 1, sit back on the couch and cry my eyes out and say, poor me, my husband died, I'm alone at Christmas, and I can't even get my Christmas cards. Option 2, put on my snow boots with my pajamas on and start running. And I run, and I run, and I run, and I run, and I was running. 4 blocks, 5 blocks. He would stop, deliver, and then drive away. And I would catch up, and then he would drive away. And in this place of movement, right, my life was changing in that moment in time. And I didn't know that. As I was running after this mailman, this huge portal was opening, and I have goosebumps even just telling you this story, was opening for me to step in, out of breath, snots, mascara. Here, the neighbor's like, who's this woman? Is that the woman who lost her husband? Oh, poor thing. The guy looks at me with the face of, what? And I say, you didn't stop to deliver my mail. He's like, you didn't shovel well enough for me to do that. What? He goes, why didn't you ask your husband to do it? I said, oh, that must be the portal, the opening, it's happening. I said, my husband is dead. You know, have you seen a person looking like a ghost? And he looked white. He's like, oh, what did I do? I never missed my mail from that day forward. The guy smiled at me. Thank you. The guy smiled at me and my little girls every time. Hello to everyone. Every time he came by, he became our best friend. But this is the part that is really important, and I really want to share this with you. Yes, tragedy did change my life. But that run, I went after what was mine. I reclaimed my life. And from that day forward, I had an attitude. I walked as if I owned my life and I was the boss of my life. And I did it. And I promised that day that if I was to get myself back, I am going to go back and get everyone else. Today, around 250,000 people read me online. I don't know why. I keep telling them about the mailman story. And we get to change many lives. So when I went back, a very surprising thing happened. And this is where everyone here comes in. I discovered a secret place. So I was going to go and get back all these people who experienced tragedies. I was going to get back all the 56 million people, their families, and try and help them come back, reclaim their life. And I discovered this place in between two lives, the place they left behind because of whatever they experienced. And then there was a place here on the other side. And in the midst of this, there was a place that we're all inside there hiding. There was a Pottery Barn couch, the flat screen TV. People were coming over for coffee and drinks. And it looked like the same thing was happening every day. And in this beautiful, comfortable, scary place that I called the waiting room, I found millions of people. And the most alarming thing was that none of them experienced tragedies. A few were with tragedies. The others were people who did not know why they were there. They thought they were living their life fully. They believed they had everything figured out. But they felt something inside of them that just wasn't right. They felt stuck, and they didn't know why. Nobody died. Their husband didn't leave them. But they were rejected. They were heartbroken many times in their lives. They were ashamed. They had lost their worthiness, and nobody validated them. Nobody acknowledged them. Nobody told them, I am so sorry for everything you have gone through. We live in a world and a society that tells us to be happy because nobody died. How many people have been rejected in this room? Is there anyone who's not raising their hand? How many people here have been told they couldn't go to a birthday party and their friends went? How many people here were not invited at a dinner? From the cool people were invited. I had this experience myself very recently. Not ready to talk about that yet. A little bit of distance for that. I'll get through it. Still in the waiting room in there. So everyone goes through loss, invisible loss especially, and we go and find ourselves in this place between two lives. What happened before the loss and what can happen after? Here is this beautiful, amazing life that we get to dance. We get to be ourselves. We get to be beautiful. We get to hear the voice that's hiding inside of you. But you think this is your life because it's comfortable and because that's what you know. And today, I'm going to ask you to crawl out of the waiting room, to step into this place, and it's going to feel difficult, and it's going to feel unknown and uncomfortable, but you're going to start hearing what's been living inside of you for so long, and you're going to know why you belong to the life you are meant to have. I was on my plane ride here yesterday, and I hope he doesn't watch this either, but and a lawyer sat next to me, and in the 2 hours we sat there, we figured out what he needed to do in his life, the steps he had to take, and he said to me, you make it sound so easy. And this is the biggest secret of all. Change is easy. Change is practical. Change is small, tiny, little steps that I call plug-ins. How I changed my life? Yes. I chased down the mailman the first time. Plug in. Then I went to my boss the next day and said, I would like to apply for this job. I don't want the 25-year-old telling me what to do. Plug in. The next day, I met my future husband. He sat next to me. Imagine that. He sat next to me, and I sent an email to the whole group that we belonged to if they wanted to go out for dinner. I only wanted to go out with him. But the plugins have to be 5%. Do you know why they have to be only 5%? So 100% plug-in would have been, hey, Eric, I really like the way you look. Will you go out for dinner with me? My fear center in my brain would say, who do you think you are, Miss Christina Rasmussen? Your husband just died. Are you not ashamed of yourself looking at another man? So instead, dear group, I love spending time with you. Let's have dinner together. 2 seconds later, Eric, what a great idea, Christina. Let's do it. Eric and I went out on our first date about 4 days after that. When you plug into the life that you want at 5%, your fear center doesn't know it. Your fear, your amygdala inside your brain does not know that you're about to change your life. You're sneaking out. So I want you to sneak out of your comfort zone by little things. Change your hair. I just chopped my hair off from here to here 5 days ago. Paint the wall in your room. Move the couch. You know, people say, I don't know where to start. Winning the lottery, the prince on the white horse, all those big things, changing careers, no, do not start there. And since today, many thousands of people are going to die, and it's not going to be you. Make it count. Thank you so much. Thank you.